Leviticus 11. Clean and unclean animals. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying to them, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, These are the living things which you may eat among all the animals that are on the earth. Whatever parts the hoof and is cloven-footed, choose the cug among the animals, that may you eat. Nevertheless, these shall you not eat of them that chew the cud, or of those who part the hoof. The camel, because he chews the cud but doesn't have a parted hoof, he is unclean to you. The rabbit, because he chews the cud but doesn't have a parted the hoof, he is unclean to you. The hare, because she chews the cud but doesn't part the hoof, she is unclean to you. The pig, because he doesn't part the hoof and is cloven-footed but doesn't chew the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch, they are unclean to you. These may you eat of all that are in the waters, whatever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, that may you eat. All that don't have fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of all the living creatures that are in the waters, they are an abomination to you. And they shall be an abomination to you. You shall not eat of their flesh, and their carcasses you shall have in abomination. Whatever has no fins nor scales in the waters, that is an abomination to you. These you shall have in abomination among the birds. They shall not be eaten, they are an abomination. The eagle, and the jeer eagle, and the osprey, and the kite, and the falcon after its kind, every raven after its kind, and the ostrich, and the nighthawk, and the sea-mew, and the hawk after its kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the horned owl, and the pelican, and the vulture, and the stork, the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe, and the bat. All winged creeping things that go on all fours are an abomination to you. Yet these may you eat of all winged creeping things that go on all fours, which have legs above their feet, with which to leap on the earth. Even these of them you may eat, the locust after its kind, and the bold locust after its kind, and the cricket after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all winged creeping things which have 4 feet are an abomination to you. By these you shall become unclean. Whoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. Whoever bears anything of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. Every animal which parts the hoof and is not cloven-footed, nor chews the cud, is unclean to you. Every one who touches them shall be unclean to be unclean. Whatever goes on its paws among all animals that go on all fours, they are unclean to you. Whoever touches their carcass shall be unclean until the even. He who bears the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. These are they which are unclean to you among the creeping things that creep on the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the great lizard after its kind, and the gecko, and the land crocodile, and the lizard, and the sand lizard, and the chameleon. These are they which are unclean to you among all that creep. Whoever does touch them when they are dead shall be unclean until the even. On whatever any of them, when they are dead, does fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or clothing, or skin, or sack. Whatever vessel it be with which any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even. Then shall it be clean. Every earthen vessel into which any of them falls, whatever is in it shall be unclean, and it you shall break. All food therein which may be eaten, that on which water comes, shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. Everything whereupon any part of their carcass falls shall be unclean, whether oven or range for pots, it shall be broken in pieces. They are unclean, and shall be unclean to you. Nevertheless, a spring or a pit in which is a gathering of water shall be clean, but that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. If anything of their carcass fall on any sowing seed which is to be sown, it is clean. But if water be put on the seed, and anything of their carcass fall thereon, it is unclean to you. If any animal of which you may eat die, he who touches the carcass of it shall be unclean until the even. He who eats of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He who also bears the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. Every creeping thing that creeps on the earth is an abomination, it shall not be eaten. Whatever goes on the belly, and whatever goes on all fours, or whatever has many feet, even all creeping things that creep on the earth, them you shall not eat, for they are an abomination. You shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creeps, neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them, that you should be defiled thereby. For I am Yahweh your God. Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be you holy, for I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that moves on the earth. For I am Yahweh who brought you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the animal, and of the bird, and of every living creature that moves in the waters, and of every creature that creeps on the earth, to make a distinction between the unclean and the clean, and between the living thing that may be eaten and the living thing that may not be eaten. Leviticus 12. Purification after childbirth. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, If a woman conceive seed and bear a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, as in the days of the impurity of her sickness shall she be unclean. In the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. She shall continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no holy thing, nor come into the sanctuary, until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her impurity, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. When the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb a year old for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or turtle dove for a sin offering, to the door of the tent of meeting, to the priest. And he shall offer it before Yahweh and make atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the fountain of her blood. This is the law for her who bears, whether a male or a female. If her means isn't sufficient for a lamb, then she shall take 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, the one for a burnt offering and the other for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Leviticus chapter 13. Standards relating to leprosy. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, or a scab, or a bright spot, and it become in the skin of his flesh the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or to one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and if the hair in the plague be turned white, and the appearance of the plague be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and the appearance of it isn't deeper than the skin, and the hair of it isn't turned white, then the priest shall shut up him who has the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day. And behold, if in his eyes the plague be at a stay, and the plague isn't spread in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be dim, and the plague hasn't spread in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread abroad in the skin, after that he has showed himself to the priest for his cleansing, he shall show himself to the priest again. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the scab be spread in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall look, and behold, if there be a white rising in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean. He shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. If the leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him who has the plague from his head even to his feet, as far as appears to the priest, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean who has the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But whenever raw flesh appears in him, he shall be unclean. The priest shall look on the raw flesh and pronounce him unclean. The raw flesh is unclean, it is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed to white, then he shall come to the priest, and the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. He is clean. When the flesh has in the skin of it a boil, and it is healed, and in the place of the boil there is a white rising or a bright spot, reddish white, then it shall be showed to the priest. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the appearance of it be lower than the skin, and the hair of it be turned white, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. It has broken out in the boil. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and it isn't lower than the skin, but is dim, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. If it spread abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in its place and hasn't spread, it is the scar of the boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or when the flesh has in the skin of it a burning by fire, and the quick flesh of the burning become a bright spot, reddish white, or white, then the priest shall look on it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and the appearance of it be deeper than the skin, it is leprosy. It has broken out in the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the skin, but be dim, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day. If it spread abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. If the bright spot stays in its place and hasn't spread in the skin, but be dim, it is the rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is the scar of the burning. When a man or woman has a plague on the head or on the beard, then the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the appearance of it be deeper than the skin, and there be in it yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a scowl. It is leprosy of the head or of the beard. If the priest look on the plague of the scowl, and behold, the appearance of it isn't deeper than the skin, and there be no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him who has the plague of the scowl 7 days. In the 7th day, the priest shall look on the scowl, and behold, if the scowl isn't spread, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the appearance of the scowl isn't deeper than the skin, then he shall be shaved, but he shall not shave the scowl, and the priest shall shut up him who has the scowl 7 days more. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scowl, and behold, if the scowl hasn't spread in the skin, and the appearance of it isn't deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scowl spread abroad in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the scowl be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for the yellow hair. He is unclean. But if in his eyes the scowl be at a stay, and black hair be grown up therein, the scowl is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. When a man or a woman has in the skin of the flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be of a dull white, it is a harmless rash, it has broken out in the skin, he is clean. If a man's hair be fallen off his head, he is bald, yet is he clean. If his hair be fallen off from the front part of his head, he is forehead bald, yet is he clean. But if there be in the bald head or the bald forehead a reddish-white plague, it is leprosy breaking out in his bald head or in his bald forehead. Then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the rising of the plague be reddish-white in his bald head or in his bald forehead, as the appearance of leprosy in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall surely pronounce him unclean. His plague is in his head. The leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be torn, and the hair of his head shall go loose, and he shall cover his upper lip, and shall cry, Unclean, unclean. All the days in which the plague is in him, he shall be unclean. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone. Outside of the camp shall his dwelling be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be in warp or woof, of linen or of woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin, if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment, or in the skin, or in the warp, or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is the plague of leprosy, and shall be showed to the priest. The priest shall look on the plague, and shut up that which has the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the plague on the 7th day. If the plague be spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in the skin, whatever service skin is used for, the plague is a fretting leprosy, it is unclean. He shall burn the garment, whether the warp or the woof, in woolen or in linen, or anything of skin in which the plague is, for it is a fretting leprosy, it shall be burnt in the fire. If the priest shall look, and behold, the plague hasn't spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of skin, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing in which the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look after that the plague is washed, and behold, if the plague hasn't changed its color, and the plague hasn't spread, it is unclean. You shall burn it in the fire. It is a fret, whether the bareness be inside or outside. If the priest look, and behold, the plague be dim after the washing of it, then he shall tear it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appear still in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is breaking out. You shall burn that in which the plague is with fire. The garment, either the warp or the woof, or whatever thing of skin it be, which you shall wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the 2nd time, and shall be clean. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a garment of woolen or linen, either in the warp or in the woof, or anything of skin, to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean. Leviticus 14. Purification of lepers. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him who is to be cleansed 2 living clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. The priest shall command to kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. He shall sprinkle on him who is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let go the living bird into the open field. He who is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and bathe himself in water, and he shall be clean, and after that he shall come into the camp, but shall dwell outside his tent 7 days. It shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shall shave off. And he shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. On the 8th day he shall take 2 he-lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe-lamb a year old without blemish, and 3/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. The priest who cleanses him shall set the man who is to be cleansed and those things before Yahweh at the door of the tent of meeting. The priest shall take 1 of the he-lambs and offer him for a trespass offering, and the log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before Yahweh. And he shall kill the he-lamb in the place where they killed the sin offering and the burnt offering, in the place of the sanctuary. For as the sin offering is the priest's, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy. And the priest shall take of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot. The priest shall take of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle of the oil with his finger 7 times before Yahweh. And of the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot, on the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put on the head of him who is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make atonement for him before Yahweh. The priest shall offer the sin offering, and make atonement for him who is to be cleansed because of his uncleanness, and afterward he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meal offering on the altar, and the priest shall make atonement for him, and he shall be clean. If he be poor and can't get so much, then he shall take 1 he-lamb for a trespass offering to be waved, to make atonement for him, and 1/10 part of an ephah of fine flour mingled with oil for a meal offering, and a log of oil. And 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get, and the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. On the 8th day he shall bring them for his cleansing to the priest, to the door of the tent of meeting before Yahweh. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Yahweh. He shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot, on the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put on the head of him who is to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before Yahweh. He shall offer 1 of the turtle doves or of the young pigeons, such as he is able to get, and the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering, with the meal offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him who is to be cleansed before Yahweh. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, who is not able to get that which pertains to his cleansing. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, When you are come into the land of Canaan, which I give you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession, Then he who owns the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, There seems to me to be, as it were, a plague in the house. The priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest goes in to see the plague, that all that is in the house not be made unclean. And afterward the priest shall go in to see the house. And he shall look on the plague, and, behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow streaks, greenish or reddish, and the appearance of it be lower than the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days. The priest shall come again the 7th day and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take out the stones in which the plague is and cast them into an unclean place outside of the city. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the mortar that they scrape off outside of the city into an unclean place. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. If the plague come again and break out in the house after that he has taken out the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come in and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house, it is unclean. He shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber of it, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he who goes into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the even. He who lies in the house shall wash his clothes, and he who eats in the house shall wash his clothes. If the priest shall come in and look, and behold, the plague hasn't spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean because the plague is healed. He shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. But he shall let got the living bird out of the city into the open field. So shall he make atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the law for all manner of plague of leprosy, and for a scow, and for the leprosy of a garment, and for a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Leviticus chapter 15. Impurities related to man. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when any man has an issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. This shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he who has the issue lies shall be unclean, and everything whereon he sits shall be unclean. Whoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. He who sits on anything whereon he who has the issue sat shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. He who touches the flesh of him who has the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. If he who has the issue spit on him who is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Whatever saddle he who has the issue rides on shall be unclean. Whoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even. And he who bears those things shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Whoever he who has the issue touches without having rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. The earthen vessel which he who has the issue touches shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. When he who has an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes. And he shall bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. On the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and come before Yahweh to the door of the tent of meeting, and give them to the priest. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him before Yahweh for his issue. If any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall bathe all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the even. Every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the even. The woman also with whom a man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. If a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be in her impurity 7 days, and whoever touches her shall be unclean until the even. Everything that she lies on in her impurity shall be unclean. Everything also that she sits on shall be unclean. Whoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Whoever touches anything that she sits on shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. If it be on the bed or on anything whereon she sits, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the even. If any man lie with her, and her impurity be on him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and every bed whereon he lies shall be unclean. If a woman have an issue of her blood many days, not in the time of her impurity, or if she have an issue beyond the time of her impurity, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness she shall be as in the days of her impurity. She is unclean. Every bed whereon she lies all the days of her issue shall be to her as the bed of her impurity, and everything whereon she sits shall be unclean, as the uncleanness of her impurity. Whoever touches those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. On the 8th day she shall take to her 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and bring them to the priest, to the door of the tent of meeting. The priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for her before Yahweh for the issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall you separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they not die in their uncleanness, when they defile my tent that is in the midst of them. This is the law of him who has an issue, and of him whose seed of copulation goes from him, so that he is unclean thereby, and of her who is sick with her impurity, and of him who has an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him who lies with her who is unclean. Leviticus 16. The Great Day of Atonement. Yahweh spoke to Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they drew near before Yahweh and died. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron your brother, that he doesn't come at all times into the holy place within the veil, before the mercy seat which is on the ark, that he not die. For I will appear in the cloud on the mercy seat. Herewith shall Aaron come into the holy place, with a young bull for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches on his flesh, and shall be girded with the linen sash, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. They are the holy garments, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and put them on. He shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 male goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Aaron shall present the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall take the 2 goats and set them before Yahweh at the door of the tent of meeting. Aaron shall cast lots on the 2 goats, 1 lot for Yahweh, and the other lot for Azazel. Aaron shall present the goat on which the lot fell for Yahweh, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be set alive before Yahweh, to make atonement for him, to send him away for Azazel into the wilderness. Aaron shall present the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of coals of fire from off the altar before Yahweh, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he shall put the incense on the fire before Yahweh, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is on the testimony, that he not die. And he shall take of the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it with his finger on the mercy seat, on the east. And before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with his blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat, and before the mercy seat. And he shall make atonement for the holy place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions, even all their sins. And so shall he do for the tent of meeting, that dwells with them in the midst of their uncleanness. There shall be no man in the tent of meeting when he goes in to make atonement in the holy place, until he come out, and have made atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. He shall go out to the altar that is before Yahweh, and make atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bull and of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the altar round about. He shall sprinkle of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and make it holy from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. When he has made an end of atoning for the holy place and the tent of meeting and the altar, he shall present the live goat, and Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, even all their sins. And he shall put them on the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a man who is in readiness into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear on him all their iniquities to a solitary land, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. Aaron shall come into the tent of meeting, and shall put off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his flesh in water in a holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth, and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. The fat of the sin offering shall he burn on the altar. He who lets go the goat for Azazel shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. The bull of the sin offering and the goat of the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried forth outside of the camp, and they shall burn in the fire their skins and their flesh and their dung. He who burns them shall wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. It shall be a statute forever to you. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls, and shall do no manner of work, the homeborn or the stranger who sojourns among you. For on this day shall atonement be made for you, to cleanse you. From all your sins shall you be clean before Yahweh. It is a Sabbath of solemn rest to you, and you shall afflict your souls. It is a statute forever. The priest who shall be anointed and who shall be consecrated to be priest in his father's place shall make the atonement, and shall put on the linen garments, even the holy garments. And he shall make atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make atonement for the tent of meeting and for the altar. And he shall make atonement for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. This shall be an everlasting statute to you, to make atonement for the children of Israel because of all their sins once in the year. He did as Yahweh commanded Moses. Leviticus 17. Blood regulations. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel, and tell them, this is the thing which Yahweh has commanded, saying, whatever man there be of the house of Israel, who kills an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or who kills it outside of the camp, and hasn't brought it to the door of the tent of meeting to offer it as an offering to Yahweh before the tent of Yahweh, blood shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they sacrifice in the open field, even that they may bring them to Yahweh, to the door of the tent of meeting, to the priest, and sacrifice them for sacrifices of peace offerings to Yahweh. The priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of Yahweh at the door of the tent of meeting, and burn the fat for a sweet savor to Yahweh. They shall no more sacrifice their sacrifices to the male goats, after which they play the prostitute. This shall be a statute forever to them throughout their generations. You shall tell them, whatever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn among them, who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice, and doesn't bring it to the door of the tent of meeting to sacrifice it to Yahweh, that man shall be cut off from his people. Whatever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn among them, who eats any manner of blood, I will set my face against that soul who eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement by reason of the life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. Whatever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn among them, who takes in hunting any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out the blood of it and cover it with dust. For as to the life of all flesh, the blood of it is all one with the life of it. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, you shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood of it. Whoever eats it shall be cut off. Every soul who eats that which dies of itself, or that which is torn of animals, whether he be homeborn or a sojourner, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean. But if he doesn't wash them, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. Leviticus 18. Rules regarding sexual transgressions. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, I am Yahweh your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt in which you lived, you shall not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan where I bring you, you shall not do. Neither shall you walk in their statutes. My ordinances shall you do, and my statutes shall you keep, to walk therein. I am Yahweh your God. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my ordinances, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yahweh. None of you shall approach to any who are close relatives to him to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahweh. The nakedness of your father, even the nakedness of your mother, you shall not uncover. She is your mother. you shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you shall not uncover, it is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness you shall not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter, or of your daughter's daughter, even their nakedness you shall not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, conceived by your father, she is your sister, you shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister, she is your father's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach to his wife, she is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law, she is your son's wife. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife, it is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. You shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are near kinswomen. It is wickedness. You shall not take a wife to her sister to be a rival to her, to uncover her nakedness, besides the other in her lifetime. You shall not approach to a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is impure by her uncleanness. You shall not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife to defile yourself with her. You shall not give any of your seed to make them pass through the fire to Molech, neither shall you profane the name of your God. I am Yahweh. You shall not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. You shall not lie with any animal to defile yourself therewith, neither shall any woman stand before an animal to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Don't defile yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled which I cast out from before you. The land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity of it on it, and the land vomits out her inhabitants. You therefore shall keep my statutes than my ordinances, and shall not do any of these abominations, neither the homeborn nor the stranger who sojourns among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done that were before you, and the land is defiled, that the land not vomit you out also when you defile it, as it vomited out the nation that was before you. For whoever shall do any of these abominations, even the souls that do them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall you keep my charge, that you not practice any of these abominable customs which were practiced before you, and that you not defile yourselves therein. I am Yahweh your God. Leviticus 19. Laws concerning holiness and justice. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and tell them, You shall be holy, for I, Yahweh your God, am holy. You shall fear every man his mother and his father, and you shall keep my Sabbaths. I am Yahweh your God. Don't turn to idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am Yahweh your God. When you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yahweh, you shall offer it that you may be accepted. It shall be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the next day. And if anything remain until the third day, it shall be burnt with fire. If it be eaten at all on the third day, it is an abomination. It shall not be accepted. But everyone who eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned the holy thing of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from his people. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither shall you gather the gleaning of your harvest. You shall not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather the fallen fruit of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and for the sojourner. I am Yahweh your God. You shall not steal, neither shall you deal falsely. nor lie one to another. You shall not swear by my name falsely, and profane the name of your God. I am Yahweh. You shall not oppress your neighbor, nor rob him. The wages of a hired servant shall not remain with you all night until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but you shall fear your God. I am Yahweh. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. You shall not go up and down as a talebearer among your people, neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahweh. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall surely rebuke your neighbor, and not bear sin because of him. You shall not take vengeance, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh. You shall keep my statutes. You shall not let your cattle breed with a diverse kind. You shall not sow your field with two kinds of seed. Neither shall there come on you a garment of two kinds of stuff mingled together. Whoever lies carnally with a woman who is a bondmaid, pledged to be married to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, they shall be punished. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. He shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh to the door of the tent of meeting, even a ram for a trespass offering. The priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahweh for his sin which he has sinned, and the sin which he has sinned shall be forgiven him. When you shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then you shall count the fruit of it as their uncircumcision. 3 years shall they be as uncircumcised to you. It shall not be eaten. But in the 4th year, all the fruit of it shall be holy, for giving praise to Yahweh. In the 5th year shall you eat of the fruit of it, that it may yield to you the increase of it. I am Yahweh your God. You shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantments, nor practice sorcery. You shall not cut the hair on the sides of your heads, neither shall you clip off the edge of your beard. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks on you. I am Yahweh. Don't profane your daughter to make her a prostitute, lest the land fall to prostitution, and the land become full of wickedness. You shall keep my Sabbaths, and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahweh. Don't turn to those who have familiar spirits, nor to the wizards. Don't seek them out to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh your God. You shall rise up before the gray head, and honor the face of the old man, and you shall fear your God. I am Yahweh. If a stranger sojourn with you in your land, you shall do him no wrong. The stranger who sojourns with you shall be to you as the homeborn among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh your God. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in measures of length, of weight, or of quantity. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall you have. I am Yahweh your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You shall observe all my statutes and all my ordinances, and do them. I am Yahweh.
Leviticus 20, Prohibited Cults. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Moreover, you shall tell the children of Israel, whoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who gives of his seed to Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. I also will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he has given of his seed to Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. If the people at the land do at all hide their eyes from that man, when he gives of his seed to Molech, and don't put him to death, Then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all who play the prostitute after him to play the prostitute with Molech from among their people. The soul that turns to those who have familiar spirits and to the wizards to play the prostitute after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am Yahweh your God. You shall keep my statutes and do them. I am Yahweh who sanctifies you. For everyone who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be on him. The man who commits adultery with another man's wife, even he who commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. The man who lies with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be on them. If a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have created confusion. Their blood shall be on them. If a man lie with mankind as with womankind, both of them have committed abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be on them. If a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. If a man lie with an animal, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall kill the animal. If a woman approach to any animal and lie down thereto, you shall kill the woman and the animal. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be on them. If a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a shameful thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of the children of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. If a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he has made naked her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor of your father's sister, for he has made naked his close relative. They shall bear their iniquity. If a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. If a man shall take his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. You shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them, that the land where I bring you to dwell therein not vomit you out. You shall not walk in the customs of the nation which I cast out before you, for they did all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said to you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it to you to possess it, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am Yahweh your God, who has separated you from the peoples. You shall therefore make a distinction between the clean animal and the unclean, and between the unclean fowl and the clean. And you shall not make your souls abominable by animal, or by bird, or by anything with which the ground teems, which I have separated from you as unclean. You shall be holy to me, for I, Yahweh, am holy, and have set you apart from the peoples, that you should be mine. A man also, or a woman that has a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be on them. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to activate the bell to receive all notifications of future videos. Tell me in the comments what you thought. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.